Welcome to the Southwest Florida Strong podcast, brought to you by Conrick PR and Marketing. I'm your host, Connie Ramos Williams. Today, joining us on our podcast is Sandra Plazas. She's the MicroEnterprise Program Coordinator at Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida. Welcome and thank you for joining us today, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Connie, for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I understand you've been at Goodwill Industries for about 8 years now, and with the MicroEnterprise program for about 5. Can you tell our audience a little bit about MicroEnterprise and the program itself and how that works?
Sure, absolutely. So MicroEnterprise started in June of 2010. In that time frame, there was a recession in the area, and local leaders came and approached Goodwill to talk about some programs or services that we could partner together to help folks who fall within that low to moderate income and to give them opportunities to sustain themselves and offer business opportunities.
That you guys are doing such a great job with that. And I believe you started the program a few years after the recession that we had back in 2008, I think is when the recession started, 2007.
Right.
And you guys have been doing a great job. I mean, that was during a time when people could not find employment. There was not enough jobs to go around. And people had no choice but to try to open their own businesses to earn an income. Do you recall back in those times? I know that was before, well before the time you got started, but.
Yeah, that was before I got started. So when I joined the team, I started out as the MicroEnterprise Coordinator, and then in 2018, I was promoted to the Program Manager for Community Education, which still falls within the MicroEnterprise program. We offer, the class is 6 weeks long. It's 2 nights a week, Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 9. And it basically is a start for folks who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs or may have been struggling as entrepreneurs and want to put a plan on paper. And so they go through 6 weeks with the facilitator and 2 coaches. Normally it's 2 to 3 coaches, depending on the size of the class. And they methodically work through putting together a feasibility plan. And what that is about 70% of a business plan. There's a couple of financial statements that are not included in our feasibility plan, but it definitely helps that entrepreneur or the aspiring entrepreneur put their thoughts and their ideas on paper. And so we start working through, who is their competitors? Is there a niche in the community for their product and services? And we also discuss how to price your product and service and where's your break even. So a lot of the components that will really give them a full understanding on how to put this information on paper, along with assistance from coaches that they work with throughout the 6 weeks.
What a blessing this program has been for our community, because there are so many small businesses throughout Southwest Florida. And I'm going to gather, since you guys have been around for a while, that a lot of them did get their start right there with your program.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the people, the coaches and the mentors that you guys bring in to help these budding entrepreneurs get their start.
Absolutely. So we work with a variety of individuals in the county. We try to have a facilitation team that are local entrepreneurs in the area so that they can assist the participants in their plan. We work with SCORE agency, and we also work with Small Business Development Center. They have been mentors in our program as well.
Excellent. And I believe you pull from the community too. I think even some folks from our own Conrick PR and Marketing team has helped to deliver marketing messages to startup businesses. How do they start off their marketing plan?
Yeah, absolutely. Conrick, I have been so grateful to have partnered with you guys for several years, even before I started with the MicroEnterprise program. Javier Fuller has definitely been one of our famous coaches with his red pen. If you ask him, he knows exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And his wife has also facilitated the class for several years. And with their help and their feedback and their knowings of all of the things that you need to start and sustain a business, a lot of our folks have been really successful going through the program. We like to call our coaches the secret sauce of the program, if you will. And then our speakers, and then our speakers come in and do small presentations as Conrad comes in and does a marketing presentation. Jamie has actually done that a few times and has done an excellent job, where folks after have emailed her and said, thank you for that information. I would have not known that had it not been for the presentation that you provided. And so we do a little bit, we invite an attorney to talk about information. We invite a CPA, a business insurance, and all these folks do some small presentations so that the participants can gather some information for their plan.
I love that, because there are so many professionals in our Southwest Florida area that really do love to give back and have no problem giving of their time to mentor new entrepreneurs coming into their industry. So it's great that you have a great resource pool, and certainly our team is always available to you when you need it. I know Chelsea, Jamie, Kirsten, Javier, myself back in the day, we've all been a part of the program and absolutely love and are inspired, honestly, by some of the folks that you have coming through there with their business ideas and their excitement for starting a new business.
Definitely. And one angle that Conric does really well is they use the businesses that are in the class to do some demonstrations and make examples of how they can brand their business. So they work really well in helping those individuals kind of get the concept of how to market your business as they go on.
Phenomenal. One of the things I wanted to share is, so many businesses that start off, their first year is a very challenging time for them. And there's many businesses that don't make it through their first year in business. Can you tell us a little bit about what your folks that go through your program, how they compare and how long they're in business and meet with success?
Sure. So the goal of our class is for aspiring entrepreneurs to come in and gather information and knowledge and tools so that they can make a really good decision moving forward. Should I continue with this business idea, or maybe should I step back and do a little bit more research? How am I going to get the capital for this business? And a lot of our participants have really big dreams, and we try to tell them that's great, have big dreams, but let's do small steps to get to that dream. And so our businesses, as of now, total graduates are 918, and we have businesses that have started or strengthened their business since the class, 478 of them, and 289 of them are still in business.
That's great. That's 918 have gone through the program since it started. That is incredible right there.
It is incredible. And a lot of them, the goal necessarily, like I said before, is to make sure they have a really good understanding of what they're going to be getting into so that they can prepare. And business is not for everyone. And that's why it's important to take a course to give you that information, work through the plan and then really see if this is something that you want to pursue, because it requires a lot of dedication, a lot of support from family at times. And oftentimes being an entrepreneur is a lonely task. Or a lonely field, if I can.
Yes, it absolutely can be. And, a lot of people have amazing ideas and dreams. And I think it's wonderful that they pursue those dreams, and they should. And I think the program helps those entrepreneurs with either moving forward or staying or making up their mind if they're right for being an entrepreneur. Because as you said earlier, not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. So it takes a certain level of skill and training and certainly patience and endurance and
Absolutely.
so many other things. And it's not every personality, not every skill set is cut out to be an entrepreneur. And I believe your program does a great job of helping them understand what's necessary to be successful in business, to know if they should move forward or move on to plan B.
Yeah, I have a really good example. So a graduate of the Cape Coral class in 2018, his name is Jonathan. He wanted to focus on providing a restaurant where it was focused on macaroni and cheese, like everything was included with macaroni and cheese, whether it's a lobster roll and whatnot. And he realized that he needed to focus a little bit more on his niche and how he was going to get this started. So he had to wait. Him and his wife waited a while. They saved a little bit. And he just called me last week, and he has his grand opening. He was able to lease a space at the Flea Masters Market in Fort Myers and just started his business, him and his wife with 2 employees, Mac Daddy's Macaroni Bar.
I
So I'm
like it.
excited for him because, he wasn't ready yet, but he had to take some time. He had to put some information on paper and also work with his family and get some, figure out what is it that he really wanted to do and what it looked like, especially when he wanted this huge dream of a restaurant. Well, restaurants in the 2 years sometimes fail, and it takes a lot of capital, but he was able to save, able to make his dream a reality just on a smaller scale. And I hope to see him succeed and open up his storefront in a few years, but they're doing great.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I love to hear success stories like that. And, when he does open, I hope you will let us know. Because
Absolutely.
we, after all, this community is Southwest Florida strong, and we
Yes,
all want to help each other succeed in business. So we'll be the first out there to try some of that mac and cheese.
absolutely. And we also have another young lady, during the pandemic, excuse me, it was difficult for people to figure out where their next client or their customer or how they were going to maneuver through the pandemic or pivot, if you will. And we had another young lady, Monica, who graduated from our Fort Myers class in 2016, and her love for cupcakes. So she wanted to open up a store where she can show her creative side. And so she started at the Franklin Shops in downtown Fort Myers, soon outgrew that area, and she started teaching decorating classes for young adults. And then during the pandemic last year, she called me and said, I know it's a little crazy, but I have an opportunity to open up a storefront in Cape Coral. And I said, oh, that's great. And she goes, yeah, and I'm going to be applying for Kiva, which Kiva is a nonprofit crowdfunding source that Goodwill is a trustee of. So it means when a graduate completes the class, we vet their plan and we encourage them to apply for this loan, which this would have been her second time applying. She was able to crowdfund her loan, receive the money, got the equipment that she needed and the down payment for her store. And she's been in business in that location for a year. And so I'm so happy for her. She's Monica, and her business is Tamu Cupcakery, and it's located in Cape Coral.
Wonderful. So it sounds like they get a lot more than just education and coaching from your
Oh, yeah.
program. They're getting opportunities and connections for business loans. You're building their confidence. You're helping them truly launch their business if they're ready and set to go. So your program sounds incredible. And I was going to ask you next, but you kind of touched on it a little bit. Do you stay in touch with these new business owners and entrepreneurs once they launch their business?
Yeah, absolutely. We create annual surveys at the end of the year, and we call everybody. It is a little difficult to go back until 2010 because I'm a small department, but we do try to reach out to the last 3 years of businesses and call them and do a survey and ask them how they're doing, if they've added an employee, how are their resources, is there any tools or information that they would like to know more about so that I can connect them to the right agency. And then we also offer alumni sessions, and some of the topics can be, how to create your Facebook business page, how to be a Florida food cottage law vendor, and how to market your business. So we provide these workshops for them, and it's usually we send out an email and say, what are you working on? What do you need more information on? How can we help you put together a workshop? And so we try to offer 3 workshops a year for all of our alumni.
That's phenomenal because, well after you open a
Oh, yeah.
business, there's other things that come up. There's always challenges as an
Yeah, absolutely.
entrepreneur. So it's phenomenal that they know that they can count on you guys for that support. You're reaching out to get surveys, find out what kind of help they need and provide it for them. So
Absolutely.
kudos to you for running such an incredible program
Oh,
over the years
thank
and
you.
really helping these 918 businesses out there, through the program to see how they can succeed here in Southwest Florida.
Absolutely. And a lot of the times they'll call us and say, I've changed everything, Sandra. I'm not going to do that cleaning business. I'm going to go into food business. And it's just they create their own aha moments because the book that they have can help them with any product or service business. And so it's always neat to get those phone calls and say, remember, I was trying to open up A restaurant. Well, that's completely changed. I'm into a whole different process, and I'm getting ready to open up another business, which is really neat because then we can promote that business and help them. And another ways that we help our businesses is we have vending opportunities for them. As you know, Goodwill Industries hosts a festival of trees at the end of the year, and so we offer vendor opportunities for all of our businesses to come and join and be a part of the festivities.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know Goodwill Industries does so much more than just this one program.
Sure.
And no doubt on our podcast, we will have many from your group talk about all the incredible things Goodwill Industries does as a whole.
Oh, good.
And just so much you guys do in our community that people have no understanding about yet. But with MicroEnterprise, you guys really are making a difference in our economic growth here in our marketplace. Some of the things that are challenging right now, when you guys first started this program back in 2010, we were in the middle of a recession or recovering from the recession, and there were a lot of people opening businesses because there were no jobs. Well, right now we're having kind of a different situation where there's just not a lot of workforce out there. So for a lot of these entrepreneurs opening a business, where are they getting their workforce from? And businesses large and small are struggling with the workforce shortage that's facing not just Southwest Florida, but across the globe right now. What kind of feedback are you getting from your entrepreneurs or the folks that have been out there with their new companies?
Sure, that has been concern for that. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, our group of businesses, I would say about 70% of them are home-based businesses, so their overhead is very low, and they also invite their families to participate in helping them grow or helping them manage their business during these times. We do have a few storefronts that are opened, like Wildabout Popcorn just opened up their second location in downtown Fort Myers. And I spoke to Ed, and he had already the team there from the previous owner that had a business there. And so it was a nice transition for him. But what I've been hearing is a lot of family involvement, helping them get through these tough times, helping them put packages together, mailing them, customer service, all the things that are needed. They've definitely have felt it, but have included their family so that they can continue to grow and continue to stay involved in their business.
All right. And because they are smaller businesses, they can do that, because obviously
Exactly.
some of us that have, much larger staffs, there's only so much family you can pull in, right?
That is true.
So Sandra, tell us if you think the new $15 minimum wage may have an impact on the businesses that are launching from the MicroEnterprise program.
I do believe that has been a question that some of the bigger businesses that have come out of MicroEnterprise have had to deal with. Thankfully, our smaller businesses that are one or two business owners have not had to think too much down the road as far as the $15 an hour wage. I do believe that some of our bigger businesses may have start now to figure out what their projections or what that looks like in the next 5 years, because I do believe the $15 wage is coming up pretty soon. So I know that they are working with their accountants. They're working to figure out how they can grow and still be able to meet the challenge of the $15 an hour. But a lot of them are single entrepreneurs. Like I said in the past, 70% of our businesses aren't there yet, even though they're growing and doing well. But I do believe that is something that they're planning, especially our bigger businesses, and how they can accommodate or how they can meet that challenge.
Well, it's wonderful that you guys are staying on top of what the small business development sector is doing, and staying on top of the workforce shortage and the minimum wage and things like that, because that'll work itself into those business plans you're helping put together for these budding entrepreneurs. Sandra, something that we asked all of our guests on the Southwest Florida Strong podcast is, what do you enjoy most about living and working right here in Southwest Florida?
I enjoy that I live where people come and vacation. That is probably one of the neatest things about living in Southwest Florida, is the beautiful beaches and people really enjoying what we sometimes take for granted on a day-to-day basis. And the Florida winters. I mean, I would never go back to Chicago to live, so I enjoy Florida winters thoroughly. And that's and my family is here in Southwest Florida, so it's all around a good place to live and play and enjoy.
Well, I think that's a great answer, and I couldn't agree with you more. How can our audience get in touch with you? And that's if they want more information about your entrepreneurship program, the MicroEnterprise program, or even to be a mentor or coach.
Absolutely. Please visit our website. We have sections there for those that are interested in learning more about the program to be a coach or to be a facilitator. We're always looking for individuals that have really good experience or a good background in small business. And for those that are interested in becoming participants of the class, also please visit the website, which is www.goodwillswfl.org, and go under how we help. And you'll be able to find all the information about MicroEnterprise and other services that we offer.
Sandra, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. That does conclude our podcast. I'd love to thank our audience for tuning in today. And if anybody would like to view this podcast or view future podcasts, please visit us at conrickpr.com or wherever you view your podcast. And until next time, stay Southwest Florida strong.